conventional power projection. They're looking to project power, but not in conventional terms. And that's perhaps the result inside Iran. And so Iran, instead of operating according to what we would sort of consider conventional norms, has done things like supporting profit. But again, it hasn't worked out that way in practice. And I think that you can look back to President Obama and his strategy and maybe see why. He talked about why can't we have a balance, pursued things in ways which we would consider destabilizing, maybe to the best of their ability, but destabilizing, but also because they're going to be diametrically opposed, I think. And this will be a problem, I think. Again, ironically, you might ask, well, now that
use that as a template to try to understand the relationship. That's point number one. Point number two, and Michael just touched on, or Mike to touch upon it, there's also a current dynamic. Unique features of the region wants to play a bigger regional role. In its view, it's a natural role. Some may view that it's the US on most of these issues. You don't have that with North Korea. North Korea's relationship with Iran. So that's the third, my third point, which is why I think this is so special. It's not going to revolutionize things. I don't think we're very good at big transformative steps in the Middle East. I know that I have somebody who mentioned it earlier, maybe it was Jane. On every objective that galls, I think, Iranians, and it occurred, I was in Munich and heard
no Americans see them sometimes in, whether it's Munich or
Iran and Saudi Arabia. We have reckless,
Israel, to put it mildly. That's, I think, is some pathway that I could see, but I don't despair that at some point.
What I wanted to get at, and you essentially put into the argument, I think. What do you do with adversaries driven by profound
advantage? And I think that, again, we're looking for blacks and whites at a time that this is all gray. You need to just let a revolution play out. I highly recommend Jason Razahian's piece in the
Iraq, the war in Yemen, even events in Lebanon, going back to the Israeli invasion. Right, and even Syria, but of the mistakes of others who thought that they were pushing back against it.
So where have we tried to push back on Iran where it's backfired?
Syria was the only Arab country that really backed Iran from the beginning. And so there's that loyalty, too, of you helped us survive, we'll help you survive. And I think the worrisome part is these missile conversion kits. Again, it sounds obtuse, but these are things that the Iranians are sending into Syria to convert imprecise rockets into very precise missiles. And the question is, are they doing this to have assets, missiles to target Israel, or are they doing the conversions in Syria to have a secondary place to fuel or to provide weaponry for Hezbollah? Either one is very ominous. And I think this is where we tend to look in terms of troops and how many there. I think the Iranians have had a military presence in 36 different locations inside Syria.
and an American view filled with inconsistencies. Sometimes we do really well, and we can actually make situations better. A lot of the time, though, we don't do well, and we enable and facilitate an already dysfunctional, broken region and make it worse. I mean, I understand your point. I mean, I don't think we are responsible for the way the Middle East is, but we certainly play a role in contributing to many of the crises and unfortunate things that occur there. There's no question about it.
A firm decision that we should do something about it. It's, you know, maybe an advantage the Iranians have that sort of they're more willing to kind of invest on the ground in the region than the United States has. I think it's a problem, though, that when that sort of thing happens, that kind of significant direct threat to American interests, as direct a threat as you can get. This was the bombing of the Marine barracks, the bombing of the U.S. Embassy. The United States doesn't really have much of a response. And you can fast forward to our presence in Iraq, where, again, you know, American forces were being killed, the U.S. Embassy was being shelled, and still, 20 years later, we weren't really sure how to respond. To me, that's a problem of deterrence. And I think the Iranians certainly understand that sort of reluctance to respond or that inability to respond, and they've exploited it.